The recording. Welcome. Welcome to the third teleclass. Welcome to the third teleclass of the Alchemy of the Heart, a teleclass with Tania Fierro. And I'm very, very happy that Tania is here now and will lead the class. And I want to introduce a little bit, speak about the first two classes, and then and some organizational things, and then I will lead the meditation, and then we will have a question and answer part, and at the end there will be another content on the alchemy of the heart. And so what I learned the last two sessions was, at least for me, a new approach on how we deal with suffering and fear. These are one of the main topics, how we deal when fear or when suffering arises. And Tania is showing us a new approach of dealing with the fear, and to do how we can do it by acknowledging, by expanding into this vast space of our being and to acknowledge it. And how we can do it with inquiry-based coaching or with other methods, with the work or with the work of Byron Katie, that's not the point. But for me, this alchemy of the heart is very crucial, and I'm very happy that Tania developed this approach to be, at least to be with our parts, to be with suffering, just being with. So we can use our presence with the suffering. So at least we have our presence that we are, and this is what we can always be, our being, and to live consciously with a clear method to be with pain or to be with fear. So, and the 3 steps of the alchemy, that's what I learned, was salvation, and then coagulation and crystallization. So these 3 processes go inside when we are being with the pain. So this is what we are gonna learn, and I'm happy that we have the third teleclass now together. Okay. So for this, I would love to invite you for a short meditation. So 5 or 10 minutes, so we can really enter our body and try to let people in the room and do the meditation same time. And I invite you to find a place that is comfortable with you, that you move a little bit, stretch a little bit now, so that you can enter your own body and the consciousness going inside. You can take a deep breath and make a little sound also with the breath in or with the breath out, so you can feel and embrace the body that is already here. Anything that was for today can leave, and invite you to enter this inner core, the center of who you are. Consciously connect with your true being, and just watch what's happening inside of the body. And anything what arises, allowing, notice, grateful what's showing up his life, Gently connect with your inner body, with your inner being. Like your body is a canvas. Everything what shows up can arise on screen, and it is allowed to exist and allowed to be. How would it feel inside if anything that is arising would be allowed? What is living inside? And connect deeper to your soul, to your center that is always present and supporting. Let's look if you can expand or relax into this being that holds you. And I invite you to connect with your heart. And from your heart to your baseline. As if there were roots. That are connected with being. And I invite you to expand, to allow to expand this consciousness even further, rooted in being. How does it feel inside of your heart just now in this moment? Without giving it a name. Just be with, just be. I'm grateful for this moment. For this presence. How does it feel if we could allow to be this vast space of consciousness? Just now and now. And gently, slowly come back and look how the body wants to move itself. If it could, if it would be allowed, just slow movements. To rise, fully be present in your body, into this class. And I invite you to open your eyes slowly and look if you can connect and stay connected within while you open your eyes. If possible. And if not, you can close your eyes and just reconnect and play a little bit. Play a little bit with this connection inside. Okay, then I deep breath. Oh. Welcome again. And I invite you to find some questions, what you have discovered during these sessions. Are there any questions on this alchemist process? Questions on inquiry? And we would love to open it up for some questions that are here. And please, if you have a question, raise your hand by pushing a button on a reaction. On down, you can hold your hand so you can see, I can see you. Oh, welcome. Are there any questions on Tania or me? I don't see anyone. So but then I would love that. I have a question for you, Tania, if this is possible. That I learned now from this is being with as a salvation process in the alchemic process. How to salvation. And
salvation, what do you mean?
the first process of the alchemy is
dissolving.
Dissolving.
Mm-hmm.
Dissolving. Yeah, it's dissolving. Yeah. And how is the process from dissolving to coagulation? And at least what is coagulation within the process of inquiry? What I learned last class is at least facing death is the first step of dissolution. And how is this process going on then in the coagulation? And how is this linked to the alchemic process?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, first of all, hello, everybody, and thank you for being here. The process, funny enough, all you have to do is not run away from pain. And then everything happens. That's the very, very short version. It's the running from pain. The problem is wanting to run from pain, wanting to fix pain, because we feel threatened by pain.
Mm-hmm.
We feel threatened by pain. We feel threatened by our reaction to pain that can be suffering, or it's a very interesting thing, because when we are in pain and suffering and we don't want it, and we want to run from it, we think that is the way to resolve it. That is the classic, no?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The classic, at least, is crystallization. Is freeze. 500
No,
years,
but
and
that's
then
not
we fly.
That's not crystallization.
Or freeze. At least we say freeze.
Well, you fight, you flight, or you freeze.
Yes.
But in general, it's a adverse. It's a response that says either in fight or in flight or in freeze, I don't want this. This should not be here.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. And then if we really go with that belief, this should not be here, then we are very creative beings and we do a bunch of things. We distract, we make conclusions about why it shouldn't be here. We blame people that we think are the cause of that pain. We push towards wanting attachment to another thing and creating aversion, right? It's what are which are the classic 3 poisons of the Buddhist teachings of the Dharma, right? It is the movement towards pushing away pain and suffering is the cause of suffering. Whatever way we push, however we push, either by distraction, either by blame, either by self-blame, they're all forms of pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And saying, this is the cause. So the first invitation with dissolving is, what if instead of wanting to fix with finding a cause, we invite ourselves to not put the cause either in something wrong with us or something wrong with the world. Instead, we trust the invitation to feel this experience. And in feeling this experience, the dissolving to coagulation happens naturally, because when we want to find reasons, we lose. This is so counterintuitive and so radical. Why am I suffering is not the question. Who creates the suffering in my life is not the question.
Mm.
What is the question then? What is the question? What is the interesting question?
How does it feel?
And I feel it.
Can I feel this? Can I welcome?
Yeah.
This is profound. If I welcome my experience, when I welcome my experience, I have already a center. I am rooted in my tree. Those of you that have been with me, you know what I mean when I say I am in my tree. I am in my rooted connection with the trusting universe. The cause of suffering is the idea that it shouldn't be there. And when we think it should not be there, we make it bigger by pushing. If we don't push, if we say, how can this really be experienced? I am rooted in the trust of exploration and curiosity. I am, with the experience of zero space, what we will do in the class, with the experience of aligning ourselves with zero space, getting to zero space, creates an expansive trust in my human experience. If I have an expansive trust in the human experience, I walk hand in hand with the internal light that I am. And I know that the journey will always be from love to love. It always is. It is how I get to that more expansive love that suffering invites us to. So if you can take a moment and see if in your experience, suffering has made your heart bigger and wider and deeper, what would you say? How do you know that suffering has made your heart bigger, wider, and deeper? I would love to hear. How do you know?
And I can feel it. I can feel the expansion.
And what is the product of that? I don't know who's talking, by the way.
I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
me. Wait,
there you are.
it's me,
Thank
it's
you.
me.
Thank you.
It's the feeling, the real feeling of getting of expanding here and out of the body, wider and wider and wider and wider, and it's wow. It's just like this. And
So
I'm sorry, I
So
can't find it
who
better.
do, yes, that's beautiful. And who do you turn into from that expansion, Gabrielle?
Uh-huh.
Who do you turn into?
Yeah. I had some sessions with Marcus, and I think I entered this space now and then, as I can do now. I can feel it. There is a center in here. I would locate it in the heart, and it opens. It's like a kind of sun. I feel it from inside to outside. I can't explain it better, and it is a certainty. I mean, I know my not only my body, but my whole space feels it. It comes from that, or it centers in that, and gets back or goes back or connects back with this, with all. I'm sorry, my English is very, very little, very.
Yeah. So that is the process. Feeling the pain, allowing the pain to dissolve
Yes, I think so.
itself internally creates a coagulation in expansion and trust. It's very simple. I mean, we will unpack this in the course, but the very short version is leaning towards not resisting pain, leaning towards inviting it to dissolve in ourselves, brings the expansion. If we don't withhold, and this is going to be 3 times if 3 times if we don't withhold love from ourselves and from others. That creates a coagulation. And then the sustained version is to and crystallize by not landing or not creating a new form that has to be solid. So if we could make a diagram, it's pain arrives and create the container, hold, notice what happens. Let it, like acid, dissolves the idea of ourselves, the idea of others that we might have. We do this, of course, through IBC and parts work and inquiry. I'm just giving you like the broad strokes through the course and in the retreats. And then from that, the expansion, it happens by itself. There is no doing. The doing is the holding, it's the being with. Without landing, without fixing, without naming. That opens the expansive heart into the higher vibration that we are invited to. And that's the coagulation and the sustained capacity of not even then landing, fixing, or creating any concept creates a crystallization. So if we say it on reverse, what creates suffering and what sustains suffering and war? It's the resistance to pain, thinking I know the cause, putting blame on myself or others. And then from that, acting in a way that withholds love. And then from withholding love, I make conditions, rules, and regulations through which that love can be accessed, but it never is. Did that make sense?
Totally. That makes totally sense. This is why most method doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. It's that simple. So please, Maureen, you have a question. I know. Just please, what do you hear? Let me get some reflection back of what you just heard.
And you can write also in the chat.
Yes, on the chat. Yes, of course. What did you hear? Why does it make sense? Yes, please. Well, how do you pronounce your name?
Mia Darm. Mia.
Mia Dam.
Yes.
Mia. Yes, hi Mia.
Mhm. So when I'm in fear, and you say that, in fact, that I don't fear. Is that correct? Just
No.
welcome the fear.
Yes.
But I feel, when I feel fear, that everything goes like this, and
Mhm.
welcome is opening. So how can I get to this state of opening? When I'm in fear, everything goes together.
Mm-hmm. The first teleclass, and of course, I'm giving you snippets. We will do the methods. I'm not giving methods in these teleclass. This
Mhm.
is not a method class, because that's why we have 12 sessions. Are you your fear?
No.
Yes or no? Exactly. How do you know that?
It's, for me, it's a feeling.
Exactly. So the first session I said, if you know that you're not your suffering, remember? Did you listen? The recording, this is very important. We are not our suffering. We experience it.
Mhm.
So who experiences fear? Mia.
Me?
And what is that?
Good question.
So can you see that if you were in the closing, in your experience of the closing of fear, is there something in you that knows you are closing?
Yes. Mhm.
So if you know that you are closing in the fear,
Mhm.
is there any space in you that knows that you're not your fear?
Yes. Mhm.
Yes. So then you welcome the experience of the part in you that is closing while staying open to the one that notices the closing. So how does that feel in your body when you say yes?
It relaxes.
Exactly. And does that mean that the fear is gone?
No, but I don't identify with fear so
And
much.
it does, yes, but you're still honoring it.
Mhm.
Are you not?
Honoring, I don't know yet.
Well, honoring means you're not denying it.
Okay, yes. Yes.
Mhm. You don't deny it because because in non-dual traditions, not identifying means like we make the fear not important. And this is not my approach. You honor the fear, you know it's there, and you welcome it because you know it cannot destroy you. Sadness cannot destroy you. Fear cannot destroy you. Depression cannot destroy you. You can experience it.
Mhm.
And in that welcoming of the experience, you do it with such an openness and curiosity that you're not looking for blaming yourself or blaming the outside world. You just say, here it is, this is it, and this is my experience of it. And you get so curious with how your experience of it is that you enter into an automatic state of internal contemplation. While we are doing this, it's obvious we can't be holding a conversation or engaging in a normal way. It is a contempt. Maybe you're in the supermarket and you can do it as well, or out for a walk, but it is an internal contemplation of the internal experience with welcome and love that dissolves it. I have been in inquiry, Mia, for 30 years. Did all kinds of inquiry. And I think the biggest problem with inquiry is that there is a part of us that wants out of pain.
Mhm.
And this creates a double bind.
Mhm.
It is it is it is wanting out of pain that invites more pain. So my question is, can we be with the fear without blaming yourself or without blaming another? In openness and curiosity. And just if you trust that awareness, it dissolves and then it expands in the coagulation because it immediately saved by love. Love will always come and save us. The journey is from love to love. Love will always come and save us. Not our idea of love, not our projection of love. The expansive awareness of love that we are, that does not resist the experience that we are being shown.
Thank you.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Does that help you?
It does. Thank you. Mhm.
Thank you. Yes, I think, yeah, this is hard to say in words, but the question from Marcus is, dissolving from coagulation happens in the welcoming and 3 times it, not withholding love.
Hmm. And there are questions now from Maureen, then Romy, and then Rafa.
Yes.
Maureen, are you there? Oh, she's gone. So then we come later to Maureen. So Romy,
Mhm.
then.
I don't have a question. That's
Uh-huh.
okay. I
Good.
just Tania was asking to share, so I put my hand up
Yeah. Yeah.
because she was asking for sharing, but it's not question.
Okay.
So I'm fine.
Yes. Thank you. Maureen, you had a question.
So sorry, Tanya, I have to sign off just now, but I will put it in the chat. What my
Put it in
question
the
was.
chat. Put it in the chat, and I will answer it, and you can listen to the recording later. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry,
You're
everyone, that I
welcome.
have to leave.
It's fine. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Who else had a question? Rafa.
Now I have 2 questions. There is a chat
Yes.
of
Okay.
this. There is a chat of this 3 alchemy introduction.
There
Because I
is
didn't know if there is a chat, I would love to be invited.
like a WhatsApp chat?
Yeah.
No, Marcus
No.
just sent emails. No.
Ah, okay. So my question, all what you say makes absolutely sense to me, especially on a not thinking level. But I feel like as someone who always had a very open antennas, I found myself in situations where people would overwalk certain boundaries.
Yep.
And my question here would be, where do you see the difference between staying open and being overstepped on your boundaries by people who are in that process of projecting their fear on you?
Okay. So I invite you, Rafa, and everyone to think the word open. Just think it. Open. Now, notice the difference in your body when you think open and you are open. How does your body feel when you are open? So the difference, the difference, Rafa, is that you are not being open, or you're not doing open. You're being open. And in the open, in the being open, natural boundaries emerge. In the doing open, we act open, but it's not the being of open. So if I am in the being of open and somebody throws something at me, there's an immediate movement that comes. There's a clear yes and a clear no in the being of open. In the doing of open, I put ideas of what that looks like that betray me. In the being of open, I am in natural flow with what's deepest true for me. And you will get a clear yes and a clear no. This is the alchemy of the heart. It's the difference between doing open and being open.
Wow.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
And then trust the boundaries are there. Because you check in and you go, You notice you move away. You notice you don't move away.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Makes
Is that even boundaries?
Well,
And
it can be perceived as boundaries. Because perhaps you will be so clear of what in your openness emerges that it might look like no, like very clear no.
Yeah, it just sounds like or feels like clarity.
And but
there
it
is-
is. It is. It is. It
So
is
I don't need
clarity.
any more concept of boundaries in a way.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that's the whole alchemy. That's the crystallization, you see, of the heart. That's when you live in the gold of the trust that and that beautiful trust of you, of what lives truly, what your journey from love to love. Love will always come and save you. Withholding love will always bring pain. Not doing love. Being love. Doing love is very complicated. It requires many concepts and many constructs. Being love, you do it already.
You are it
Yep.
already.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ashika.
Yes, I do have a question, and bit more than a week ago, at 5 o'clock in the morning, going to the bathroom, I fell over my suitcase from the height of my head down on the floor, the tile floor, and it was a humongous experience, and I thought I had close to killed myself.
You
And
had
since
what?
I close to killed myself.
Ah.
Yeah. And I, at 5 o'clock, I was alone there. Nobody was up. So the only choice was to go to bed and just be be with what was, you know, be with the pain, be with the experience, the feelings. And it's strange that the time passed very quickly. It was not like normally when something happens and, oh, how can I have help? And I realized that was the whole time I had such a deep patience with the feelings that came up.
Mhm,
And that is a new experience.
mhm,
And the question is, for me, if I compare it and I have emotional upheaval and problems, I'm not that patient.
mhm.
Like, I'm a victim. And not so much a question about, yeah, how can I transfer the experience that I was able to have and to create to the emotional realm, to have that patience with my feelings as well.
One of the things that have changed dramatically for me as a practice, Ashika, is that I unapologetically do what you did when something happens, which is go lie down and be with it. Go lie down and be with it unapologetically. Of course, if you're in the middle of the day or a meeting, you can say, you know, to that part of you, I will come back. But to make now I understand, you know, meditation in a new way and practice in a new way. It's not, for me, it's really to see what needs to be held, seen, and heard. That is the priority in our lives. We were never told this. We were told that the priority was to do things and to deliver things, whatever your flavor of things. We were never told that the priority was to experience our humanity in contemplation, without withholding love, without blaming others or ourselves. There is a deeper, wider intelligence supporting you, and you found out this a week ago when you fell, and you thought you could die, and you were alone. What came and saved you, Ashika?
Well, later on, I said I have been the best mother with myself that I could possibly in this moment. Just holding myself, being with myself, being patient, and not wanting it to be different.
See how wise you are?
Mm.
Because I've had sessions with people here and, yo, I lie down. I did it, Tania. And the next question is, and did you want it, and were you secretly wanting it to be over?
That's the thing, yeah.
That's not our choice. If it could be over when we wanted it to be over, gosh, we would accelerate things a lot. We would be in the expressway. So the trust in the universe, God, spirit, love, is understanding that it won't lift until it does. Oh, oh, but when it lifts, oh, how much beauty and love and safety and strength there is. Just at the other side. So much. Beautiful, guys, so much. And if and the infinity, that doesn't mean it stays. Because we're not there for that. Because wanting to hold that, it's the same energy, Buddha would say, as wanting to push the other.
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
You know, it's the same.
Yeah.
We are here for the human experience of the ride.
Yeah.
Aren't we?
Yeah, makes sense. And doesn't have to make sense because there is no sense in that way. There is just it's like just the being.
All of you that are wizards of this path, and you all are, otherwise you wouldn't have the kindness to see what this one would have to say, the kindness to see, you know, you are wizards of your path. And remember, our mission is very simple. We go from density to light. Experience density and alchemize it into light. Experience density, alchemize it into light. From the love of density to the love of light. Love to love. That is it. Period. That is our job. Marcus was telling me, I don't like that you say that we chose this because it doesn't matter. Or what would you say, Marcus? I don't want to put words in your mouth. You can lower Ashika's hand, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. To Ashika, I wanted to say also these victimizing parts. I know, so then I can be with this victimizing part that is there, and allow him and be with this victimizing part that is arising. So then I have two parts: one who doesn't want, and the other one who wants to be with, and they fight. So there is a war, internal war, external war. And this is the only way out is to allow the war, allow love to happen, to dissolve. Not me, not another part. And what I said to you, Tanya, is last time, yeah, I know that it is so important to come out of this victimizing mind, so that I say I chose for this journey on this life. And for me, this love is so expansive and wide that I experienced several times that it seems to be that this is who I am, is so big that it is timeless. And in this timeless, there is no reincarnation, and there is also no choice and no choosing.
How do you know that?
This is my experience, just my experience. And I know it is just
no, I'm curious. How do you know?
It is just this bright light that is there, and there is choosing. Yes, I don't deny choosing. It is just, it feels really timeless, and there is no stories, no, it's just pure light, and it comes, for me, it comes naturally to serve. That's That's what love does. And to follow, and there is no choice in it, in my experience. So this is what how I would frame it. And I can see that it makes, you know, in my life, I chose so many things, and it was never the right thing, because when the right thing is always chosen and you go with the flow. This was my experience hundreds of times, that it is there and I just pick it up like a cherry that is there, and it is easy. And yeah, and I can see also, yes, that there is a strong yes. When I have a strong yes, for example, for sharing inquiry, I have a clear yes and a clear strong choosing. And this is so strong that I cannot not do it, you know, in this lifetime. But internally, in my inner land, I experience huge light, the love that there is no choice. I feel very relieved that there is no choice, because it is love. Yeah. So this is, but it could be also intellectual. I don't want to intellectualize it or conceptualize it. Yeah, this is what I said.
I think that's the edgy part, that we can choose to withhold love. I think that there's an edge to ourselves. I don't think we just do ourselves in automatic. I think the edgy part is how that we actually can choose how to be with ourselves or not be with ourselves.
Mm.
There is a choice. That's the edgy thing to experience when we choose not to be with ourselves, when we choose to be with ourselves. It's edgy when we choose to make strategies towards someone, to not make strategies. I think that's the playful, edgy human experience, that we can actually expand or contract.
Yeah.
We can.
So there is a choice.
I think, of course, there is. There is and there isn't, but there is in the sense that you all know here what it feels to withhold or not withhold love, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can do one or the other, correct? You're not a robot that does one all the time.
At least I tried so many times to withhold love that at least I failed. So love is always stronger. Love is the power. So that this failing is the failure is the light.
Of course it fails, and yet there's war.
Yeah.
And yet there's murder. Yes, love already won. But that edgy part of how to come to the realization of what of the light and the love, and it requires the journey of withholding as well. So we can actually make it more conscious. Otherwise, there's no point in living, you see?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you say, oh, we can never withhold love, we're always light and then why do you suffer, Marcus?
Not we. I said I can. I withhold it.
Why do you suffer then? If you have it so clear. Why do you suffer? Why is there pain?
Yeah, because
See?
yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Because there's an experience, I mean, for me, the answer is because there's an experience to be had in that will open another part of you.
Yes, there's more love to unfold or to discover.
If you do this work.
Yeah.
Because you can choose not to. That's the point.
Yeah.
You can choose not to do the work. Internal work.
Yes, this I agree. Yeah.
You can choose that and stay in a pattern. We're so powerful, people of the light. We're so powerful. We can choose. So Rafa says, and because we're really, where we really come from, and I don't understand it, we have it all the time, and that's why we took the experience. Yes, of course. And we took the experience to bring other people. I think it's the communal waking up of going from density to light. Absolutely. But this would be actually, I'm glad that we took this reflection or this inquiry together. Do we have a choice? And if so, to what degree? So why don't you guys discuss that for a moment? Can you do like a breakout for, let's give them,
how many
like,
hours?
I don't know, 12 minutes?
Okay.
And then you choose one that can share from others. And make sure you remember what group you go to.
And the group of two? Yes.
Sure.
And one group of three.
Okay.
Let's have two groups of three.
And the question is, do we have a choice as to how we experience our pain and suffering? Do we have a choice to expand our love and how we do it? Do we have a choice? And then third question would be, what's the edge for you in that?
Do we have a choice?
Do we have a choice in how we experience pain and suffering? Do we have a choice into how we expand or contract our light, our love? And what's the edge? Okay?
Okay.
What do you
Go
mean
for
by what do you mean by the edge?
Like what's the part that is the most interesting for you? That stretches your mind.
Die Grenze oder die Messerschneide. Is clear, Ashika? No. Can you repeat, Tania? What is the edge?
The edge is, where am I being stretched in my life? Where the edge is a place where you're going to go into somewhere new, right? The edge of a cliff. Do you understand the edge of a cliff? So when you're at the edge of the cliff, you are being invited to see and to experience something new that stretches you, that's a little bit scary. Okay? So what is the edge in there for you about expanding or contracting love, or about how you deal with your pain and suffering? Okay?
Okay.
That help you? Okay, let's
So
do
it's
it.
18. No, it's 8 past 9.
So at 20.
20. Okay. So I open the rooms.
Enjoy.
And you don't, Tania, you don't.
No.
Oh, what, let I stop?
Let me.
Whee!
That was a very fast teleportation. I got caught in surprise. It was like whoosh.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah. How was your experience? Who wants to share first? Ashika, first was Ashika Romy.
Yes, we had the most inspiring conversation. And in the end, we came to the conclusion that, like, when I'm angry or pissed off or in emotional pain, I feel righteous. I feel it's the right thing to do, and I cannot get out of it. And I hold on to that anger. And to look for the edge is like a miracle. It's so small, like breathing, between breathing in, breathing out, this moment of where I feel I hold on to something, to noticing and to allow to feel the pain. And in that moment when I can feel the pain, I is not the small Ashika anymore. It's something that's bigger in me, that holds all of me, that holds me as the person that I am, with all my nice side and my not so nice sides, and I'm all welcome, like in the Rumi poem. It's not something that I can do. It's something that happens by allowing to feel the pain, and only the love can feel the pain. If the mind feels the pain, it says, yes, that's right, this person or me, I've been stupid. It won't let me out. I find it, the edge is really a miracle. And Romy had something still to say. Romy, but yeah, can you add it?
I think I have a choice how I experience pain, and I also have a choice how I experience love. And I said my edge is also at the moment more the experience of love. And I think I worked a lot on pain or a lot of suffering or drama, and now all this doing love and how love has to be and how love has to how love is, and opening up is the edge to this unconditional love. That's
yes. So being love and being open is effortless.
Yeah.
Doing love and doing open is horrible.
And this is my edge. Absolutely my edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I have a choice as long as I'm in my pattern.
Mm-hmm. You always have a choice to interrupt the pattern when you notice the pattern. Okay, thank you, Ashika and Romy. Who else? Yes, Donna.
When you notice the pattern, that was our discussion. My friend who's resting on the couch, I don't know your name.
Anne-Catherine.
Anne-Catherine. Oh, beautiful. So we were curious. I was curious about when you're not aware or when you're in the subconscious, do you have a choice? Like when you're in the reactive part of the brain, do you really have a choice? Or are you stuck in patterns? And what if you've never had this experience? What if you're 75 or 80% of the population who's never been exposed to this kind of work? Do they really have a choice? So
I think that's a fantastic question. I think that's exactly the point of why we do what we do.
Yes.
Everybody has consciousness and awareness, and everybody, even if minute, has a minute of, even after the reactivity, to say, I reacted. if I have any sense in myself to say I reacted, then there's space in the consciousness. And you're right. Most people don't have access to the tools and methodologies to expand that space, to understand that they're not their pattern or their suffering. And I think that's our job. That's why you, so the answer is, do they have a choice? I think yes. What do you think?
So I shared with her that I teach this in schools to children and to teachers. And this is something that we use. This is called a feeling buddies, a doll. And of course, this is sad. And so we teach children like, oh, sad has come to visit. Oh, sad, your eyebrows are going like this and your mouth is going like this. You seem sad. Just awareness of emotion, right? Like when I first started teaching this 15 years ago, there would be a storm inside of me and I didn't even have any vocabulary for what that emotion was. You know, and I was 40 years old at the time. So we teach children to welcome sad, and it goes like, you look sad, welcome sad, and we look at sad as the witness, right? Hello, sad, welcome, sad, breathe with me, sad. You're safe. Keep breathing. You can handle this. You're safe. Keep breathing. You can handle this. And you repeat this mantra. You repeat, you're safe. Keep breathing. You can handle this. And children know that they are not the storm that comes and goes, that emotions come and they go, and that we can welcome them. And so I see children that haven't had this experience yet. I see them react. And I would, and sometimes I come in as a behavioral specialist and people say, well, he could choose to be, you know, kinder to his friends. But the truth is he can't choose to be kinder to his friends because he wants that toy. And the only way he knows to have that toy is to hit somebody. And so the falsehood is he has a choice. He doesn't. He simply doesn't have the tools yet to recognize anger has arose in him, to have the tool to say, welcome, welcome anger. I see you've come to visit me again. Keep breathing. You're safe. You can handle this. And then make a different choice to say, I wasn't done with that toy. May I have it back, please? So I see every day children and adults that don't have these tools, and you know, do they have a choice to in this child's case to hit the other child when he wants the toy? He doesn't have the skills yet to make a different choice. And so my job is to teach the self-awareness, the self-regulation to make a different choice, because it feels better for me to ask my friend for a toy, right? To ask my spouse for whatever, without going in reactive mind. Instead of turning away from my spouse, you know, I turn towards him and say, can we please talk about what you said at the dinner table tonight? Like, those are skills. Those are actually skills. So, and my friend said she likes to think of this in a different way, as these are on a stage. The emotion is on the stage and I'm watching it. And I thought that was very beautiful too, to be the witness and watching allows it to be there without it being so personal and without it being so, in my teaching, I say Q-tip, quit taking it personal. Like it's not personal. It's up there on the stage, as she said. So
I love that. It's so beautiful. And it teaches, you know, that exactly we have these parts, and the sad parts and the angry parts are innocent.
Yes.
In their perception. They are innocent in their perception. And if we understand the innocence without self-blame and without making it all of who we are. I'm not an angry person. I'm not a sad person. I have sadness. I have experienced sadness. I experience anger. I experience all of this, even calm.
Yes.
Even I experience calm. We are not calm. This is also why the attachment to the positives can be equally painful. Oh, but I was so calm, you know? Yeah, well, calm visited until it didn't. And then we
Tania,
have,
Tania,
and then
so
there's
you
something
want to
else.
say, so you want to say love is the exception? We are love?
Yes, we don't experience love. We are love.
That's
The
what we
problem
said,
is
right? That's what we said in our group. Yeah.
the problem is when we make love a thing. And
Yeah.
that's what screws us over, because then we have regulations and expectations and needs and wants and all the things, you know? And it's not and then it becomes a thing. And love can survive being a thing because it's too big. It's too expansive. It's too incredible. You know, whomever wants and needs things from their spouse is not love. It's the personality that's wounded and wants to heal their traumas through another person meeting their needs. And it's going to be a very, very temporary thing, even if those needs are met. Because what wants to be healed, it's wider, deeper, and stronger. It's the self-resourcing. This is the crystallization in one word. So if I could give you what we will unpack, one word: dissolving equals experiencing, allowing without judging. Coagulation means expanding love, not withholding love, if you want. Not withholding love, not making something mean that now you should. Not withholding. And 3, it's the crystallization is actually I missed the word. I have it written down. I will come back. I will come back. Thank you, Donna. That was beautiful. Those children are so lucky.
Thank you.
Oh, they're so lucky. So lucky.
I have a little question to Donna. Where can I buy such a puppet?
These are on a website called Conscious Discipline. If you go to Conscious Discipline, that's where these come
Please,
from.
could you put it into the chat?
Yes,
Yes, that would be great.
of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's so beautiful.
Mhm.
Clear.
Who else would like to share?
Oh, no.
Mia.
I'm so full of, I don't know what it is, but I'm just really full here. And about what we just heard, what was in discussion in the little groups. What's your name? With the Rafa, yes. Rafa explained me the difference between this doing love and being love. And well, I had an example about myself, about anger. And then I realized, aha, until I don't welcome anger, and take it to me as a part of me, it will always come. And it's true, I thought about anger and hatred and all these feelings. So this is a aha moment. Yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. Aha moment, a moment.
And that is what we will do with the parts work in IBC, in the women's retreat and in Heart Alchemy and the immersion. There's going to be different reiterations depending on the circle and the topic. But that is exactly the method that we will learn. I can't teach the method in 3 classes because I want you to experience. So this is just like the philosophical foundation. So I hope you join us, Mia. You would love it. You would love it. Rafa, do you want to say something, or anyone else? I don't. Oh, so you wrote something, Rafa. Wait.
And Lubov wrote something. Can I share it? The question of Lubov.
Yeah.
Can I share, Tania?
Lubov is saying no.
No. Just what Lubov was writing is, for me, it makes totally sense. Running away from the pain.
But she's right here. She's right here. She wants to talk.
Yes, you're here.
Now I'm here, but I want to say I didn't have a question. I was just writing in the chat when I didn't have the video, and we had very nice sharing with, I think, Gabrielle and Bridget, but I propose that one of them maybe share, because part of it I didn't understand German, so I think it's better that one of them share what we were exploring in the group.
Brigitta, could you do it, please? Because my English isn't as good as it should be in this moment.
It sounds perfect, though. Just so you know.
It sounds so.
It does.
Yes, thank you. May you?
Yeah, I can. We talked a lot about relationships and how our edges are that we want to please our partners, or that we are angry with our partners, and that it's very difficult to stay in our love and not to go in the other person. And also we talked, one person, you said that you can stay in your love for longer, but 2 of us said that we're still learning to stay in the love, that we react to our partners, and then
Well, it's the same, Brigitte. It's the same as what Donna's saying. You will keep reacting until you have the tools and the skills to be with the part that is reacting in you, understand where it comes from, understand what it's protecting you from. It might be protecting you from a younger part in you that had experienced a capital T trauma or a small t trauma. The difference is not important right now, but you won't stop reacting until you heal the part of you that experienced the trauma. And for that, we need skills. It's true. Definitely. So you can't judge yourself for reacting if you don't have the tools to understand why you are the part of you.
Yeah, and I find it very difficult to know where it comes from. It's from
we can teach you that. We can show you the methods for you to discover that.
Yeah.
If I may, I would like to add that for me it is, I did a lot of work with myself, and surf through a lot of pain and not from this point, not being on the edge already, but just suffering. So now I'm entering a space that connects me with force within me, so I would like to say it, that drives me. I can't stop it. I mean, there is something, and I think for you it's almost the same. There is something I have to follow. I have to follow. I can't resist no more. I mean, I don't know the answers always, but already. But there is a force, and that is something that holds me, and that is something that even kept me alive all the time. Because I know there is something that has to come to life. I have to express it, and I think it's love, and it feels like love, like unconditional love, as perhaps the right word for it. But I would say I'm on the edge of it. I'm entering the space that allows me to expand it. And that is a process. And I can't explain, but I'm so grateful and so happy to have reached this point now. And there's a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. I mean,
and yes, and 3 times, and it's very, very excited. And we need community, and we need methods to go deeper and wider and more expensive.
I think so. And
so exciting, because for years I did many kinds of inquiries, and this one that I want to share with you, if you join us, if you join me or Marcus and I, it's really gonna blow your mind in terms of the depth and the width of how you can be with yourself and heal the parts and integrate the parts of you that have been longing to have your loving presence.
Yes, and I think it's more. I mean, you hold the space of love. You do. You present, or you offer a space of love, and we all share in the first session. I think you said we are like a kind of soul family. Did I understand it right?
Yes.
Yes.
All of us that meet in this path, either for short time or a long time, we're soul family.
Okay. Okay, and I'm thankful for that, because
it's so amazing to talk to people that are interested in this stuff. It's amazing. It's magic.
It's so wonderful to listen, and so wonderful to share the space. Oh, I can't explain. I'm sorry, but it's really great. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Gabrielle, because it resonates, because you are in that space as well. It's just so beautiful. I think it's so beautiful. You know what I think? I think this whole human experience, it's about really, it's like a trickster cosmic, I mean, they call it cosmic joke, but for me, the joke is not the joke. It's not like a haha joke. It's like oh my God, we were held and loved, and we were held and loved, and love always came to save us. There was truly nothing to be afraid of. And I know that's easier said than done, especially after me. I mean, it's when you're in pain, it's hard but if we really look, we've never not been held by love, in my experience. If we jump to the other side of the pain and suffering by holding it instead of pushing it in whatever sophisticated way, even mantras. I have a friend that said, even mantras is a way of pushing pain sometimes, or anything sophisticated, anything that pushes, or questions it in a way that pushes it, doesn't allow us to jump into the density of it, so we can find the light in the dark. And then when we find it, it's like the joke is there. You've always been held in love, and love was always there for us. always and forever in so many ways. It's so exciting to find out. It's so exciting to experience pain and suffering then, because it's like, oh my God, how am I going to find love now? This is going to be a new flavor, a new version of how I will meet love. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. I had never met it in this edge before. And like Rumi says, you know, with the checkmate, we don't have to go and find edges. That just find us. The edges find us. And then we jump or not.
Yes,
I think there's a choice. But so at the end of the day, Natasha and Peggy, choice or no choice? What's the edge?
I think there was the third question, and we spent so much time with the first two that we didn't quite get to the third one.
It's fine. It's fine.
And many things that were mentioned already, we also found. So, for example, for the first question, do we have a choice as how we experience love and suffering? So, yes, we have, but we have to learn it. Usually we are not taught it by our parents. And that's why we walk this path and we choose what we are doing here as well. We choose to do inquiry, or we choose to look for it in some way, because there is this inner urge that we want to know. You know, not know intellectually, but know from inside.
I think the world, like, imagine if we did what Donna did, since instead of coming to your mom and saying, I feel sad, and she responding, why, what happened? We would be met with, welcome, sad part of Tania. Let's hold her and breathe, and she's safe. It doesn't have to be a big why. Right? Donna, do you want to share something?
When it becomes the children's first language, like, we had to learn it. But when I get to witness this as children's first language, it's so beautiful and pure.
Yeah.
Imagine if it was your first language, yes.
Oh my gosh. It would be.
There would be a lot less fear in the world, probably.
Yes.
Because even asking for the belief behind a sadness can be violent. Don't you think, Donna? Even for the belief. It's like, first let's feel. And then we see what comes out of the feeling and love. Sometimes it's not needed even. Sometimes it was just an experience passing through.
Or the empathy gives language to it, like, oh, you're feeling so sad. You wanted to have another turn.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, it's the awareness, like, oh, I wanted to have another turn. So now I have the ability to say, can I have another turn? Right. So it's creating consciousness and language and higher level thinking to hold up the mirror to the child and say, oh, you're feeling really sad. You were hoping for another turn. And then you can see their little light bulbs go, oh yeah, that's what I was hoping for. Now they have the language to say, I was hoping for another turn. Like, okay, you can ask Tommy for another turn.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yes,
beautiful.
it is so beautiful.
So beautiful.
I geek about it.
So yeah, so it's so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you all so much. So I hope, you know, it was my intention not to go deep into practice, but it was my intention to really give you like a broad stroke of the view, what I call the view of alchemy of the heart, to get the view of what it is that we're aiming for. We're aiming to have the full circle of love to love, and to understand what being in that versus doing that feels like in our bodies. And the teleclass and the retreats and all of that is going to be so beautiful, so relaxing, and so expansive. It is like a coming home to absolute safety, and it doesn't matter what happens on the outside. There is the possibility of feeling safe and nurtured and nourished and centered and empowered internally, not as a rah superhero me, but as just part of the sustained consciousness of light that we are. Part of the sustained consciousness, relaxation in the sustained consciousness of that we are beyond this form. It's an invitation to effortlessness. That's the word crystallization is effortless flow. When something doesn't work next, when something works great, effortless flow without attachment to outcome, because we are already whole. Remember, the first thing I read to you was this written, no, who are we and what are we longing for? Remembrance, reunion, wholeness, and laughter. To know ourselves deeply. You know, to stop seeking gratification outside, and to really self-resource within, and from there jump into life, into the adventure. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Marcus, for inviting me so much. Thank you, Marcus, for reminding us of the teleclasses, for sending the recordings, for sending the flyers, for your incredible support and your immense, immense, immense love. That's been always here for all of us, and the way that you call us in. It's so beautiful. And I'm so, so, so lucky to call you my friend, brother, ally in this path of wizardry, of going and moving density into light. So thank you, Marcus. And thank you, each and every one of you. So do you want to say one word before we go?
Yes, we can invite everybody to say one word before we go. I want to mention also what Lubov asked in the chat, that sometimes we are also caught into ancestral boundaries, into cultural boundaries, and into genetical caves. And all these, even these are, when they are met with the love who we are, that's also possible to heal, to heal, because that's our task also, to see where we are connected in this web with culture, and also with nations, and also with humans and animals. And all this will be included in this immersion that starts in May 13 this year in Clarisek. And you know, this, to know this pattern, in the moment when I realize this pattern, then the healing can start. And most of the time I'm not conscious, but when I'm conscious, I can really see them with the alchemy and put the whole ancestral boundaries into light. So I discovered that also the whole ancestral world can heal. So that at least our ancestors, they wait for us to do this path so everybody can be healed. So the whole system can be healed. So that's also a huge power that everybody has, because you are here, and we are living. We are really living. It's a gift that we live. It's a gift that you are here. I want to be grateful that I feel so much gratefulness that you are here, that you watch, and that you are already love wherever you are. It's just, yeah, and I invite you and to this journey. And if you have questions later, you can ask me. You can also chat. I offer also a session for free if you want to see. And and also I discovered that when I sent you the email, tomorrow I will send an email with all the with the recording of this session of all 3 teleclasses.
Thank you.
And I want you to look into your spam ordner. Probably some emails, they are so you will really get it. Look tomorrow in the spam. It could be that the email is there. I don't know. It is
Thank you.
I heard from several people.
Yes,
Thank
I
you.
have to go, unfortunately, Marcus.
Okay.
But thank you so much, and I appreciate you so deeply.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again.
See you. And
bye.
Bye, Tania.
Thank you,
Everybody
Tania.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Marcus.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Tania. Thank you. So we stay. Who wants to say a word, the last word, to say goodbye?
Gratitude.
Just a word. What?
Gratitude.
Gratitude.
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment.
Peace.
Compassion.
Gita, one more.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Ashika.
Thank you so much. And here it's a big rain.
Big rain. Thank you. Who else?
I would like to say also gratitude and love.
Thank you so much.
Yes, and the expansion. I mean the feeling of expansion and of a future that really will change or make change.
Even the circle is already there. Another, yeah, Mia. Natasha, you already said?
Yes, compassion.
Compassion, okay. Okay. Thank you so much. The circle is already there. Thank you. I feel it so much gratitude that you are there wherever you are. See you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
And thank you, Marcus, especially also.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. So.